what?
Depending on the day, between 280 to 285.
So you're a fat fucker.
Yeah.
So you think a 5'10", almost 300-pound dude, how much money you make?
Like 400 every 2 weeks.
So you make 400 every 2 weeks. So you make 800 a month. You make less than $10,000 a year. Okay.
But how many 20-year-olds was him?
Hold on. Dude, I was a 20-year-old and I was making far more money than that. In the 80s, where minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. So I need to hear it.
Ooh.
How long? You got a big dick?
Huh?
You have a big dick?
I mean, it's above average. I ain't know Ron Jeremy.
No. I asked you if you had a big dick. I didn't say it was above average.
I don't know what that is, really.
Nigga, you know if you got a big dick or not. Stop the bullshit. Every dude know whether or not he got a big dick. I know I got a big dick. You don't know?
I mean,
you don't have a big dick. That's the point. You don't have a big dick. You don't have a big wallet. You're a fat dude. And you got a lot of nerve thinking you should get choosing signals at 5'10" and 300 pounds, making less than $1,000 a month at 20 years old. Ooh.
This is C3. No. Oh, that's an F. I knew it was close. Wow, that's an F. It's in key. And I'll be goddamn. I'll be goddamn. Well, I'll be goddamn.
I might do some reaction videos as well. This is another Friday. Ask me anything Friday. Made it through another week. Pretty much that's something that deserves, I would say, a round of applause because this definitely was a tough week to start. So I did a video a couple days ago, or actually I think it was, I forgot. My track of time is kind of off. Um I live a lifestyle where I'm almost like semi-retired. Even my job, the job that I do, is so laid back, and that's one thing I will say. Um, depending on what you do, you might have a job where it's not really laid back. You have no really, like, I heard people talking about Amazon. I haven't really looked into it, but I saw some of the videos where they don't even want to, let you go use the bathroom and stuff like that. So, it's like a high pace, fast paced job where you got to constantly, move and shake and whatnot, right? You got to keep up with the actual workflow, right? Um, well, a lot of jobs working in IT is not like that. I'll just have to say that, like, a lot of jobs where you have an actual career, because see, here's the thing: it's two things. It's two things. Like, one of the things is um, being an unskilled laborer. Let me check my volumes real quick. Make sure you hear me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm Gucci. My tech is working. Um, being an unskilled laborer means basically you don't really have any skills. You basically do whatever's told. Go pick this box up right here. Go pick up this sheet of drywall. Go pick up. When you done with that, go throw out the trash. When you done with that, I need you to go down the street and drop this off. That's what you call being an unskilled laborer, where it becomes a situation. And let me do a little selling for you. Where it becomes a situation where it's beneficial for you to learn some type of skill is because when you actually have some type of skills, you do have a particular way where you can work a job where it's not so fast paced. It's not so, it's not required. Your performance is more required than actually your actual labor. One of the things about working a factory job, working in a warehouse, is that you're based off of them using they trying to extract every output out of you in that time frame, where it's like, from whether you work from the day shift where it's like 8 to 4 o'clock or something like that. They're trying to extract every minutia of labor out of you for whatever dollar amount that you get paid. And here's the thing: like, it goes back to actually um, respecting this kind of like matrix that we live in. We respecting this system. This system is a beast. You know, one of my videos that I posted like 7 years ago, when I started this channel, was it was about, are you a slave, basically. It was about basically modern day slavery, which is wage slavery. And one of the things is that when you're unskilled, it is no question. You that question of are you a slave? It more or less is something that you really think about. You think about, damn, okay, I gotta freaking get up. I gotta go to this factory. I gotta be there on time. They don't open the door if you late. You're gonna get like a write up or something like that. Um, I'm not getting paid really that much. Some of these factories they pay very well. I worked at a liquor company, and I talked. Pretty much talked a lot about that. And one of the things about working for that liquor company, I will say, and a lot of the jobs that I worked, it was a part of some type of production where they made some type of product, and they have factories. A lot of those companies, the factory workers, they got paid a decent amount of money to start, and of course they had advancement. So, for example, um, $25 an hour was something that I remember they were making in the factory, and then unlimited overtime. Okay, some jobs, you work in a factory, you only making like, you know, $12 an hour, $13 an hour, and you want they want every minute, every hour you constantly working, right? You don't have any type of union um, representation or anything like that. Sometimes you might not even want that, right? Because they take an extra amount of money out of your pocket. Well, all of that type of stuff becomes a reality when you're working certain jobs, like, basically working for Amazon, where taking a piss break might be a problem. You know, um, I'm gonna look up people talking about that, because I'm be honest with you, I understand um what's going on. I absolutely understand. That's why I said I respect this system. Um, I very much respect this system. But if you the reason why I respect it is because I know that it is a beast. It's a beast of a system to deal with. And it's kind of like having respect for your opposition. It's like, your opposition is there. You don't mess around with it. You don't play around with it, and you know, you just basically you understand that these people are out to get you, but as long as you kind of aware of it, and stay away from them, you pretty much stay out of the crosshairs, right? Well, that's how, I mean, it's just like that with these factories. I know, because I've been there. I used to work for UPS. I used to work at other different capacities where I was an unskilled laborer. I was, definitely an unskilled laborer before. And being an unskilled laborer, you don't really have that much that you can do as far as negotiation tactics. You can't negotiate, oh, well, you know, I wanna be able to do this, and this. Basically, I mean, you're looked at as a grunt that is just has some arms and legs. It has a brain, and it can do certain tasks. Um, you get paid what you get paid, and you barely, what you can afford to get a car, a little cheap car, and um pay go 50-50 with your girlfriend or baby mama, right? That's what those jobs typically what they have as far as who works there. Those guys that's basically trying to have some type of life, and pay the bills and be responsible. And it's like, like I said, I've been there. I've definitely been there. And most people, that's what their reality is. They're not going to tell you that other than, when you talk to them personally, when some people, they're not going to tell you what they're doing. They're not going to tell you what they're struggling. Even YouTubers, right? People on YouTube, they're not going to tell you that their wife is talking about divorcing them. They're not going to tell you that, basically they're in debt and they're really doing this and they really need super chats and donations because they're in debt. They don't really, people generally don't want to tell you their business. I'm kind of abnormal in a sense where I'm more transparent. I choose to be more transparent, almost even to my own detriment. I won't even say almost. I'm almost too transparent. Sometimes my transparency scares me. Okay, but the thing is that yeah, it's a lot of people that struggle in silence, and they also they don't want to let you know that they work 2 second shift at the factory. Okay, they don't want to let you know that basically they're going through some situations and they're not making enough money. But online they blend in with the crowd and they pretend behind some type of avatar that they're just like everybody else. Some people, they'll never go on a panel. They'll just stay in the chat and laugh and giggle. But when they come on the panel, and then you hear basically the broke talk, as I call it, you understand that these people are broke people. They are financially struggling. They speak from a tone and a conversation of someone that is financially struggling. Okay, but they just don't feel comfortable letting you know that, and that's fine, and that's perfectly normal. Like, you don't go around, people generally, they don't go around telling people their personal business. you know People generally don't talk about politics, they don't talk about finance, they don't talk about religion, and they don't talk about their private personal business, such as their health issues, uh, interpersonal family drama, stuff like that. Generally, people don't express those issues. So that's a general normal um, engagement that most people uh, do not necessarily disclose. And from that, that's fine if people just kind of that are not content creators don't do that. What I'll say is where it becomes more of a problem, where it becomes like kind of like the blind lead the blind, is where you have content creators that actually do that, and and you wondering like, damn, why is this person telling me all of this advice and doing all of this, and they're not transparent with me, and they're pretending like they're rich, that they're living a life of rally, and no, they work at rallies part time, and then they do YouTube part time as well. Matter of fact, they probably do YouTube full time, but work at rallies, uh, you know, part time as well. You know, and then they do other things on the side, and it's like you telling people that it's not going to make any difference. Disclosing your daily life or what you do and stuff like that. It's not going to lose people. If anything, I believe it will draw more people in to understand that, yeah, you an average, everyday struggling person, just like most people. You're in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, you know, make a dollar out of yourself, um, doing certain things and tasks. You know, so I say all of that to say I understand the struggle. I understand what people are doing when they're struggling. I understand the struggle hands down, where it becomes a situation where I wonder why you have people like myself that give you some type of rope to pull themselves up, and you do not take that rope. You struggle um, in silence every day. It's more struggle and more struggle and more struggle, and ultimately, you know, either you get out of that struggling on your own, or you just 20 years later, 10 years later, you're still struggling. So
Amazon
video here, we're gonna look at the Amazon people, um, what they're doing in the bathroom in Amazon, or whatever goes on in Amazon in the distributing facilities, warehouses, Amazon warehouses. Let's look at it.
weird obsession with how its employees use the bathroom is getting way out of hand. Just look at this. It's ridiculous. Today, Amazon gave me a verbal warning about going to the bathroom while not on a break. They have a new rule that they don't allow bathroom breaks. You have to get permission now. Hold up, I've got an issue with this. Apparently, so does the federal government. If you don't know, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, is in charge of making sure employers have safe conditions for workers. OSHA has rule-making authority. These aren't suggestions, you have to obey them. There's no question about this. Employers cannot have unreasonable restrictions on when you use the bathroom. And when you gotta go, they have to have reasonable procedures to let you leave and do it. Now, there's a reason OSHA is regulating bathroom use. It's because it is literally a health and safety issue. Employers making you hold it all the time are putting your health at risk. Don't even get me started on how it's discriminatory towards people with disabilities and pregnant women. That's a whole other video. So there's no confusion here. This is Amazon's.
Yeah. So apparently, yeah. I mean, working at Amazon, you gotta, it's like kindergarten. You only have, you have your designated times where you could take a bathroom break. Well, this is the type of stuff. This is the reality that some people are living. This is, a lot of people still work at Amazon. People still work at Amazon, and have to deal with certain things like that. And the thing is that this boot camp here, it'll give you some type of skill set. It'll give you an out. You might not have the time to, go take a 4-year course to be an accountant, or get your CPA. You might not want to go into anything else. You might want some type of like quick start to get into IT, because see, here's the thing. I don't have to worry about stuff like that. I used to have to worry about stuff like that, but I don't have to worry about when I could go use the bathroom. I don't have nobody watching me, my every move. Every job has people that, kind of check on you and stuff like that. I mean, every job has, people that check on you and try to spy on you and stuff like that. You have, people that have type of behaviors and stuff like that. But, you don't have nobody necessarily micromanaging you and all that type of stuff. It even if they do, like, they try to micromanage you, you just get up, walk away, and go somewhere and come back. They're gone, like the genie. It's like basically you have more freedom. Um, I typically I sometimes I forget the days of the week, almost like a retired person, because I do have a lifestyle where I'm kind of doing something that I do well. I don't necessarily have to um, worry about working, getting to the plant, and waiting for the next bell to ring before I got to take a break. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I know a lot of people have imposter syndrome about actually getting into IT. People have a brain where they have a mindset where they think that basically IT, you have to be some geeky nerd, brainiac type of person. And no, that's not. I mean, you have nerds that are in IT, but you could just be a tech. A tech is not necessarily a nerd. You can look like anybody and be a tech, um, and have some type of technical knowledge and actually work in IT. So, I mean, that's just, I just wanted to just tell you that, show you that for an example of a way you can get out of that, because I know a lot of people are in it. They just, like I said, they don't feel comfortable um, explaining their struggles. I get it. It's something that is a struggle. People don't necessarily want to disclose their struggle. Um, they want to just kind of blend in. They want to blend in with everyone else, and I get it. I totally understand. Um, even people want to do everything else. People want to do what everybody else does, right? They want to do what other people do. They want to follow the trend. You could absolutely follow the herd and what everybody else is doing. That's typically that's something that people also do. Um, follow the herd. I get it. You could absolutely be a total stupefied idiot and just follow the herd for however long you follow the herd, you know, and you could totally be, it could mess you up, such as in this crate challenge video where people got injured, permanently maimed, and all that type of stuff. Um, and you might just get a little scar or something like that. Get a little scratch. But I get it. People follow the herd. That's what people do. If a whole bunch of people doing dumb shit, then just millions of people doing dumb shit, and then there you go. Um, that's why people get rich. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I'm very, very confident in myself as far as my financial um, success and my actual prospects on financial success, because I know a lot of people are willing to be idiots. I absolutely understand that a lot of people are willing to be dumb. it was this. It wasn't just this one young lady doing the crate challenge. It was millions of people doing the crate challenge. You know, this is what normally this is normal, right? This is what people do. You know, it's nothing major to it. It's just what people do. All you have to do is what everybody else is doing. Just do the opposite. A lot of times that's all that's required. You know, I never forget, you know, I was having discussions with my coworker, and you know, I don't think he didn't know about Jim Jones. Uh, you know, a lot of you young people, you millennials, you don't know about Jim Jones. Well, Jim Jones, he influenced a lot of people before there was YouTube and social media. He was an influencer. Yeah, he was an influencer. And he influenced people that he was God. He was a god. That's how he influenced people. That he was some god and reincarnated. And he got a bunch of people, man, unfortunately, that were dumb enough to believe that. And they went to some place in South America, and the government was coming in on them because they found out what he was trying to do. He basically was trying to convince everybody to commit mass suicide, and he was successful in his in what he was trying to do, because it obviously it made news, and I'm talking about it. This happened before I was born. He got people to drink the Kool-Aid. And that's why you probably had never wondered why people say don't drink the Kool-Aid, because that he put cyanide in people's Kool-Aid, basically poison. I'm not sure if it was cyanide. He put poison in people in a bunch of punch bowls or something like that, and literally passed it around to his followers that believed he was God. They traveled to another country. You know, they were like, it's kind of like goes into, well, I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna get out of there. But they basically went from America to South America, and they were following this guy that, you know, white guy calling himself a god. And what that led was them committing mass suicide, because the government was coming in on them, was getting ready to invade his camp or his cult. And a lot of people died. You know, some of that footage is still out there. Yeah, it's like I remember seeing that. I was very distraught. You know, I was young, and I saw all of those dead bodies just spread out, and it was just a reminder that, yeah, I mean, you know, you could follow people to absolute idiocracy, to the point where, yeah, it'll be what the cost of it will be your life. You know, so I get it. I totally understand this. That's why I don't really too much worry about hitting the like button. You know, I mean, you know, if you want to donate, yeah, you could donate, but I really don't care about all that shit, because I understand that it's only a few that will get it. Everybody else will take the crate challenge. You know, I'm not really trying to reach crate challenge people. I'm just not. I'm not here for the next challenge. Just not. I'm here to basically teach learn myself from others, and journey my my triumphs, my failures, so you can learn from them, and help me help you. That's what I'm here for. And I'm also here because basically this is my personal diary. These are my personal video diaries. Just like any other like hobby YouTuber or anything like that. I do take this a little bit more serious than a hobby. I definitely do think this is more than just a hobby at this point. But I get it. Like I said, I wrote down all of the things that could be a problem as far as me in business. One of those things is that I'm definitely an asshole. I am an asshole. I understand that I am not liked. I'm almost looked at as a troll. You could probably call me a troll. I don't know. Uh yeah, I'm an asshole because you know what? A lot of the shit I say, I stand on it. I know it's true. I don't say like typically a Virgo that we a Virgo male, even Virgo females to a very much extent, but I definitely say a Virgo male. They don't say nothing unless they absolutely know that it is to be true. Most of the time, like at least it's a 99% chance that if a Virgo say something, he already knows what he says. People don't like that shit. Who the fuck this dude think he is? You know, that type of stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I'm not gonna kiss your ass. I'm not gonna be your your fanboy, and then I get no reciprocity or respect, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I see people that you know have successes in the past, and they're struggling now. Or YouTube, this shit is survival. This is survivor, man. I see people that they were doing, what I'm saying, they were doing well, but then they fell off. And then they got to write out a list just like I did. Why am I not getting this many, I'm falling off, basically. I'm not getting the results that I want to get as far as business and social media even, or even marketing, because this is something to do with marketing. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not so much that people are assholes. This is what I notice what people do. I'll just say on YouTube, this is what I notice. People obviously have their little cliques and cults and shit on YouTube. But what people fuck up, this is where people fuck up, right? In the midst of their personal people that they deal with, they do a cardinal rule in business that you don't do. I'm gonna tell you what you shouldn't do in business. Don't have any favorites. You don't you're I can tell a person that does not know business from another person that uh does know business. Ain't no favorites. People have their little favorites and shit like that. I see people doing that shit. Then they absolutely lose. You know why that is because your favorite might be your frenemy. Let me repeat that. Your favorite might be your frenemy, meaning somebody that comes off like they're your friend, but really your enemy. So while you have all of these favorites, your favorites, that the people that you think that rock with you or whatever, they they absolutely are in, like double agents and all that type of shit. And then next thing you know, you got all of this support and all of this engagement, all of this, wonderful world of, you just thought you was gonna be the next YouTube superstar, and then things start fading away. It's because you took your personal life and you took it to YouTube. This is not this is if you're making money off of YouTube, it becomes a business, and people don't know business. And, people don't understand. Like, you don't have any favorites in business. You treat people with ethics, morals. You treat people with reciprocity and stuff like that's business. A good businessman or woman. That's how you come off. But having absolute favorites, you do certain slick shit, right? Like, you don't disclose people's super chats because you don't like them. You don't disclose people's cash apps because you don't like them. You don't acknowledge people. You acknowledge certain people and not other people. Well, you just told the world that you're a hobby YouTuber. That's what you told the world. You told the world when you make those decisions, because this is the World Wide Web. You told the world that you're a hobby YouTuber. That's what you've done. And ultimately, the people that support you or whatever, they will slowly digress that support and then watch you drown in the process. They'll come back and then watch you drown yourself, because you showed yourself to be, you took how you treat people at work and how you treat people in your personal life, and you took it to YouTube, and you thought that shit was gonna that was going to have some type of long-term longevity into that. And I'll admit also this, being negative, I try to be balanced. Like, I try to point out the negativities and the negative things in life, and I also try to show positivity. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If you are 100% positive, I ain't gonna lie, that's damn near, you have these PC channels. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times, that's the way. Like, for example, like, if you're a CEO, typically CEOs, typically anybody that works in business, or professional people, they're very PC. They're very, positive, customers, 100% customer service oriented, able to deal with tough customers and easygoing customers, right? And the thing is that, yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, I mean, that a lot of times I kind of wish I was that way, but I mean, I could be that way. But the thing is that no, I didn't necessarily lead with that. And I won't try to go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be no rebrand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do have other channels and shit like that, but I mean, it's no rebrand. It is what it is. I can't. It's once you show yourself to your true colors and all of that. It's no putting that. Once you let Pandora's box out the box, it's no going back in. You know, and the thing is that it really is not that much. I would say that it is people that are assholes that make a lot of money on YouTube. They eventually possibly get kicked off of YouTube as well. Like Tommy Sotomayor. But a lot of people can't be an asshole like that. Like, if you like, I'm not an asshole to that extreme, but like, some people actually try to mimic and try to be Tommy like 1,000% or 100%, and it's like, Tommy has a way to be an asshole that is unique, and he's able to get an audience from being an asshole. Like, I mean, a total extreme asshole. And it's like not a lot of people are able to do that. Not a lot of people are able to, you know, have that success that Tommy has. And it's very few people. He has that down by art almost. Like he you know, a lot of people are not able. They try to come off like that, or they're extremely negative, and basically a lot of those people are just broke. They're not, you know, they're not able to, like, if they do this full time and they're like really extremely negative, and they have, you know, a thing where they try to cook everybody. They go to people's panels and they try, like, I mean, yeah, I tell people off and stuff like that every now and again, you know. But the thing is that um I have my ways about what I do, but when people try to have this thing where they're 100% negative, they're a negative person, and it's kind of like they're negative because they're kind of more financially frustrated. Um, they don't. There's no financial future in that, as far as like you're gonna get this, like, um you're going to be financially successful on YouTube and make a lot of money. Very few people have been able to get away with that and be 100% like more, not 100% negative, but let's just say like 95% negative, or definitely above 50% negative, and have some type of future in YouTube and outside of YouTube. Very few people are able to, on the female side and male side, are able to do that. Okay. It's very few people that are able to do that, you know. Um, but I suggest that you should do that. If you have a problem with like marketing, or dealing with people and stuff like that, I think you should write down the things that you should work on. I think you should come up with some type of plan of trying to work on those issues. Because marketing is a art within itself. You can absolutely go to college, go to university, get a degree in marketing. Marketing is a actual degree discipline within itself. It's an absolute beast. Marketing is actually something that marketing and sales is one of the hallmarks of business. One of the things about me, I do know how to sell. I learned it from others, as well as even my mother. I learned how to sell. Just get some stuff that people want, go somewhere, sell a shit. I know how to. I absolutely know how to sell. And sales is something that if you know how to do, you can make money no matter what. A lot of times I know that's what I should be doing more of. I have different herbs and stuff like that. I need to go out and just sell them. Go to the nightclubs, go downtown after work, or on the weekends, bring my merchandise, go sell them. I actually absolutely, one of my products that I don't sell on my site is CBD oil. It's absolutely amazing. CBD is a product that primarily is of hemp. It's it's a byproduct of hemp, and that's why you see them at gas stations and stuff like that, because hemp is something that a lot of people don't know. A lot of black people don't know about CBD oil, unfortunately. And the thing about CBD oil basically is hemp oil. And hemp is federally legal, and that means all the 50 states and territories. So you can absolutely go, I could sell CBD oil on the street. It's 100% legal. A lot of black people are all because black people are behind in a lot of things in life. And they're also behind in information. So they don't know about these things, right? And that's why it's so bad that if you do know stuff and everything like that, black people call you white because you absolutely are in the know and you don't participate in the crate challenge and you try to be above not only your own particular racial group but above even other like white dudes are pissed off at me because I'm not no slacker. Even if let's just say I had if I was white, I would still be on an elite level if I was a white dude because I wouldn't be technically a bottom shelf bred or trying to strive to be a bottom shelf bred if I was a white dude. So when I'm even around white dudes, they like, I get that vibe that who does this nigga think he is vibe, and it's fine, shit. I don't really give a fuck about that shit. I'm my great grandfather on my mother's side was Scottish white, guy. So I don't give a fuck about that. I fuck my dick is equal opportunity certified EEOC. my penis is EEOC compliant. But yeah, that's just some shit I observe, That's definitely something that I observe. But yeah, I need to sell more. I definitely need to sell more. And I don't want to. I hear everybody talking about this grifting shit. Man, go fuck yourself. Absolutely get the nearest dildo and go fuck yourself. Absolutely. This is a capitalistic country. This is one of the most capitalistic countries in the world. Everything is based off of capital for the most part. If you're not trying to sell something or get some type of value add from your time and efforts, you are absolutely wasting your time, wasting your children's time if you have children, wasting all kind of people's time. Because basically, if you don't have any capital, this is shit that I, told the Black Brain Trust. If you're not making any money, what the fuck are you doing? If you're not trying to get some type of money to get like people start, just kind of like what the Black Manosphere has done, start any conferences and shit like that. If you're not trying to like start some type of conference or non-for-profit to like actually help people and all that shit, you're just wasting airtime. Like you're gonna help people, but if you're not trying to like bring some money into it, it's just like the church, just like a religion, right? Why do you think religions have fucking offerings? I mean, yeah, so the pastor can get a new Cadillac, but yeah, so the fucking church can pay their bills and keep open also. And yeah, it is some churches that still help people out. They give food away and they some churches help people get out of debt and all kind of shit. So it's some decent churches, man. I mean, I ain't gonna say all of them are fucked up and where just the preacher trying to get the next Bentley and Cadillac or whatever. But it's like, yeah, I mean, you gotta have some type of capital to keep things going, That's just the way things are. If you don't have any capital towards things, then you just basically it's just a bunch of bums talking to each other. At the end of the day. It's like you gotta have some type of capital. Even people don't even take you serious if you don't have some type of value add some type of value to compensate from. You know, it just is what it is. If you want to be a hobby YouTuber, just be a hobby YouTuber. You know, just a big circle jerk. People just talk, have good time, and everything like that. That's fine. But even those guys, like they get some type of like Cash App donations or super chats and shit like that. They're not on there just having a big circle jerk. I mean, if you got people that do that, but even still, if not nothing else, they getting some type of Cash App donation or something like that. It's not just some massive circle jerk. I mean, like money is like food. Like me, like to humans, money is like food. Like my cat, he wants to constantly get treats. He wants to get compensated. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Yep." He wants to get compensated. You know what I'm saying? He wants a fucking treat. People want money. You know what I'm saying? They want to be treated. They want treats too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it ain't necessarily something that you gotta be like, oh, he's a grifter. Man, that's shit's lame. YouTube YouTube is a fucking $1 trillion company as far as valuation. Why the fuck you be on $1 trillion server just wasting your time and trying to be some type of to be some internet bum, just bumming around, for nothing. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I to me, I definitely I don't necessarily need YouTube to compensate me. I just do this, a lot of times for my own efforts and stuff like that. But even then, I'm gonna try to sell something. I'm not gonna just sit back and just pretend like I'm not trying to make any money or trying to advance my own personal efforts, as well as whoever I'm responsible for. I mean, that'll be dumb. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just retarded.
That's fine.
What?
It's just like, man, I don't know, man. I don't really say nothing. I just be listening. I just be listening.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you? I just be observing, But I understand, if you don't like somebody, you don't like them. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, even women, I dealt with women that don't necessarily like me, but I'm still putting my dick down their throat. Shit, and they let me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't give no fuck. Like, you absolutely, like, yeah, like, even with women, you ain't necessarily gotta like each other. She just, like I said, last video I did, they just want their pussy to feel good. They might not necessarily like you like that, But I just will say, if you do get some money, if you do make some money, don't be like these guys, man. Don't be like these guys and get these bad veneers.
Listen. Some of y'all is never going to make it to your destiny until you learn how to clap in the audience for who's on stage. See, y'all, a lot of y'all too busy trying to make it to the stage that you forget to clap in the audience.
Man, there's some teethuses right there, boy. There's some teethuses right there, boy.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
This is the worst.
Now you see something. Now you see now. You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I
See what I'm saying?
I thought.
That's no, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no, to the no.
Oh, you understand what I'm saying? You got to learn to be in the audience. You got to learn how to clap in the audience for who's on stage until it's your turn, until it's your time to go on stage. See, a lot of y'all block y'all blessings because y'all don't celebrate y'all brothers and y'all sisters and those that are around you success. No, y'all won't do that. Y'all sit back, be envious, look at them sideways, talk bad about them, bring up all they past, bring up everything they done did, bring up everything they done said before y'all even think to celebrate them. Let me tell you something. It wasn't nobody in the Bible that God used that was perfect. So while y'all sitting down there judging the person that's on stage, wondering why your life is neutral, wondering why your life ain't going nowhere, remember that. Ain't nobody perfect. Not one man, not one woman. Everybody got a past. And I guarantee you won't make it to the stage until you learn how to clap in the audience.
So you got a point there, you know. I mean, you get them teeth, man. They might not be perfect, you know. you still got to keep going on, man. You got to still keep clapping, you know. Got to keep going, man. You know, but yeah, if you get that money, man, might as well just get your teeth clean, get the cavities taken care of. You keep your teeth, man. Keep your teeth. Don't get no veneers, especially don't get no bad veneers, man. Don't necessarily get no bad veneers where it look like that. You know, I mean, if you gonna get some that look good. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, but I get why people get them. You know, you got a lot of celebrities that like actors and stuff. They got them, but they don't get them that bad. They don't look like that. You have different degrees because that's basically it's kind of you got different degrees of that shit. But this is kind of what this reminds me of. You know, them damn teeth, man. Them some teethuses. This is what this reminds me of right here. Them damn teethuses. Those are called teeth. Those are not teeth anymore. Those are teethuses.
I said the top fruit. Yeah. She said, oh, hell no. She said, oh, man, say, yeah. I mean, your ass. She was like, she said, I said the top fruit. Yeah. She said, oh, hell no. She said, oh.
That shit, that's exactly what that reminded me of, man. But you know, yeah, you got people that are successful. They spend a little money. You got some people that they still got PPP profits or whatever. I don't know. And yeah, they go on to get the veneers, you know, and not all of that. All of that is just like them bad surgeries, you know. A lot of women are still getting these breast implants too. I mean, this shit is crazy, man. It's become normal to get these fake ass teeth. I mean, I just don't get it. I do not get it. And it's like a lot of men don't they be like they don't care about it or whatever. I absolutely like I don't want no woman with no fake shit. If I find out a bra got fake shit, I'ma just I'ma just digress myself and ghost and block. I already know though. I know how to spot women. I know how to spot fake tits. Um, you know, that's absolutely something that I know how to spot very well. Uh, Let me just show you an example. It's very easy. Basically, they look like basically Barbie titties. Very, very simple to show as far as the show to find out if the titties is real is very easy because they look too perfect and basically they look like they look very, very much like Barbie titties, plastic. So let me make this smaller. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. See how round they are? They're real round. Those are primarily fake. Because she has no bra on, and they're very round and cupped. That's how you can spot it. They're perfect. And see, women don't care a lot of times even. Like, some men are speaking. I'm not the only ones kind of, saying this. Like, we don't like that fake shit. We not into that fake shit. They don't care. But you know what? Here's the thing. Some guys are okay with this. A lot of guys, I'll say a lot of guys are okay with this. But some guys, they're not into that. They want some natural breasts. They want a natural ass. They don't want none of that fake stuff. I would show how you could spot a fake ass, but when you get to the ass and for the sake of YouTube, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna necessarily pass the test on what the thing is that you say, what do you think about supply chain analyst job to be automated? Will the supply chain analyst job be automated? Well, the thing is that I don't know everything. I will be honest with you. Certain things like that question, supply chain analyst, I'm gonna look that up because I'm not sure what that is. Um, I'm not sure what a supply chain analyst is. I can imagine it has something to do with the supply chain. Uh, let's look up what this is because some things I have to educate myself on. And this is definitely one of those because I'm not sure about what this is. So obviously what I can tell is that you said you in college or in university. So I don't see this is definitely something that they're I guess universities, colleges are adding to their curriculum. So let's see what this says. Analyzes data and methods to predict and improve companies' delivery of products and services to its customers. Organization supply chains need to run smoothly and efficiently to ensure a profit, making a supply chain analyst an essential role. Okay. Says you need this that has nothing to do with anything, quantitative analyst expertise. Plan and carry out large-scale projects. Monitor, collect data on current operations, including scheduling, sourcing, warehouses, production, and delivery. Yada 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 yada. All right. I would imagine that is something that could be automated, but I mean, here's the thing. Like, this is the fucked up thing about certain things when it comes to education and what I absolutely know in the field. I'll just speak of my field. Well, you will have somebody that go to university, get their bachelor's in supply chain and become in supply chain analyzation, get a degree in logistics. And then you will have, like, for example, you will have somebody that I work with, you know, that's part of the good old boys club that don't have no degree, that don't even work in IT, don't have no IT certification, never took a class in IT, and they get a position like this. I swear to God. I'm seeing this real time. I'm seeing this real time. They get a freaking job just like this right here. Because basically, just by proxy of being in the club. This is the stuff that I see on the ground, you know, in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? I see this type of stuff. And it's like, wow, okay, interesting. You know, infrastructure analyst. You know, and it's like, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, you thinking, oh, okay, well, I go to college and, you know, I get this and I'm qualified and all of this stuff. And then next thing you know, basically, somebody gets the role, this role right here, and they have no background in IT. They have no skills whatsoever when it comes to the actual job. They just got the job because they've been working for the company for over 10 years. And the contract company took over is trying to kiss their ass because they know a lot of people that work for the actual client. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. You know, so it's you know, I don't know how that would make somebody feel, you know, like you go to college, you become, you know, this degree person, and then you go get a job and you work with people that don't have a degree. You know, they just were drinking buddies with the factory you know, department manager, and they got the job. They got the same job title you got. They probably make more money than you make. You know, it's just stuff like that, man. It's just appreciate it, man. You know, it's just a slap in the face, you know. But I mean, it's not discouraging, you know. Educational you know, accolades is important when it comes to jobs. What I will say is that you just got to have a positive attitude. Positive attitude helps. You know, positive attitude helps with a lot of different things. You know, having a positive attitude, and also having some type of foresight to constantly, you know, try to move up, try to, you know, look for better opportunities if you're not not able to move up. Exactly. You know, is the right move, you know. Even if you have some ideas to go into business for yourself, you have some type of startup ideas, you know, I recommend, you starting off where you are. If you got some business ideas, to in that type of background or whatever, you have some type of factory skills to automate logistics, or anything about logistics. I mean, you could start off where you are, work your way up. A lot of times people, they have the idea that you gotta wait for the government. The government gotta help you. You know, big old daddy government got to give you a contract or some type of funding. No, you should start wherever you are. Most businesses can scale. If you're waiting for funding, you'll be waiting till you old and gray, and your business won't get off the ground, and you'll just slowly die. Your idea will just die because you're waiting for that funding. And I remember when I had my store, I had a computer shop in Chicago in the South Side. And people used to come in the store and they'd be like, man, I would have started a business too if I had the funding. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? If I would have got this grant, I applied, I was thinking about applying for this grant. And if I would have got that grant, I would have started a business too. I'm like, what? Huh? Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know what type of mindset that is, but that mindset got to be thrown in the trash. I mean, it's government grants and stuff like that, and you should be into that and all of that. Like, some people I think are in it too much, and I think that's why they got caught up in that PPP stuff. But you can start off in small and scale. It's not necessarily all about the money per se. It's all about, like you say, learning the business, learning business fundamentals, marketing, sales, customer service, learning, like you say, logistics. All of these are part of business. Learning business management, financial business finance. All of these are part of business, and it's what makes up a business. A lot of times, once you scale up, if you master where you are small and you scale up, you're going to be an absolute beast once you get higher up, because now you got more money, and you got the actual business system, like a actual machine, and you basically can just sit back once you get enough funding where you actually already saved your money for years, and you've scaled up to a point where you can hire other people to manage the business. Now you actually have a business. You have a well-oiled machine that runs itself. Your role might be that of some type of vice president or president, and you have managers to actually run your business. You don't have to go open up the shop anymore. You don't have to go clean the toilets out in the bathroom. You absolutely have employees. You have a manager that manages those employees. That's business, and that's something that some people don't even never scale up to, or they don't scale up to. 90 to 95% of Black businesses only have one employee. So even in business, they're independent. That independent mindset, not wanting to work with each other, is literally carving us out. It's literally putting us in a position where we're stunting our financial growth, our success, our communal success, because we just want just for ourselves and our own family, of course, and a lot of times don't even do well, because you can only do so much by yourself as well. And just you don't hire anybody, just an independent contractor at that point. And that's how the government looks at you, just an independent contractor. And pretty much you only helping yourself out at best, and you're limited, and it's only so much you can do with just yourself. That's why a lot of times even business owners, they get burned out, because they're doing so much by themselves. So yeah, I mean, business is very, very difficult. That's why most people don't go into business, and most people are not successful in business. It's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Even people are not even good at being employees. And being an employee is actually supposed to teach you what is required to actually go and step up and take things further and actually go into business. That is the purpose of working a job. You're supposed to study the company, study the practices. That's why they filed NDAs, because they don't want you taking what you know at the job and going out and getting your own clients and getting your own business, and copying their business model. So that even if you did that, it takes a certain level of concentrated effort to get into and maintain business. Yeah, you going into this here. See, I got charts for all this shit because I talked about all this shit before. You going into this here. Actually more so this here. To a certain degree, yeah, but nah. The biggest fear, I believe, is the alpha master. And this is my breakdown of male hierarchy. The alpha is the threat. I might sound, I don't know how I sound online. Some days I sound like a nerd or whatever, but I'm a threat because I have an alpha frame. I'm looked at as a threat because I have an alpha frame. I'm that buck. I'm that bed breaking, buck, that, basically walking around with BBC, and you have to grab your wife and your daughter because you don't want them having the BBC. I mean, that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to a certain degree, I think the nerds actually, to be honest with you, this is a trick. I'm about to drop a bomb. Okay. If you have a problem getting a job, actually coming off like a super nerd will actually help you get the job, because you look as more of a, you look non-threatening. You look like a non-threatening Negro. So you go to Walgreens or Rite Aid or whatever, and you get some reading glasses before you go to the interview, and you'll look like a non-threatening Negro, and you have a better chance of getting the job. That's a trade secret of mine.
Message.
So yeah, I mean, nerds is what they looking for. They're looking for black nerds. Everybody's looking for a black nerd, because a nerd, those are the people that invented a lot of these inventions that have shaped the whole entire planet. Black nerds have invented so many things, like the refrigerator, the air conditioner, the steam engine, stuff like that. They looking for nerds. you know. And the other women, they're looking for nerds because they want smart children. They want the, you know, be taken care of, because black nerds are the providers. A typical black nerd male that's successful, he's going to um provide certain provisions that somebody else may have a hard time providing, you know. So a lot of different ethnic groups, they actually look for, you know, black nerds and seek them out. And especially you see that in colleges and universities, and then you see that in the workplace. You see it more so in the workplace. You see it in the private sector as well as the public sector. You know, and then you have nerds that are in positions of authority. You know, so yeah, no, and they're not. The things that people look for are more of a direct sexual threat, in my opinion. The big black buck, you know, the alpha, uh, you know, kind of frame, the alpha frame, black male is tend to be the one that they, you know, pay attention to. Poindexter in the, you know, with the pocket protector. No, they're not, because they look at it like they could take your bitch with no problems, and then, you know, you know, they could run you off. But the buck, or, you know, the black guy with the alpha frame, that, you know, he's more of a threat. And that's not even just black people. It's just male hierarchy, period. You always have the guy with the alpha frame, that's the bodyguard, the, you know, policeman, uh military official, uh special forces guy, whatever. You're gonna see that, you know, you see that in the military, you know. What does success mean to you? Well, success means basically having your basic needs met, in my opinion. Having your basic needs met. In an animal kingdom, a successful organism is something that's you know, um, an organism or animal that has, you know, on a basic level, like a, you know, like my cat here. All he needs is what he already has. He only needs the red, but he has an internal desire to have even more than that. I am looking for a companion for him, because he's a social cat. You know, every animal has different personality. He still wants. He doesn't really give a fuck about. Probably doesn't care about green or purple, but his highest plateau, his peak is he want a pussy cat. He wants that yellow. Okay. Some guys, that's all they want. Some guys on a carnal nature is, you know, they want, they don't really give a fuck about their self-esteem or self-actualization. They want the same thing that my pet cat wants. They just want a bitch. And they don't even want multiple women or anything. They just want one bitch. They just want one. They want one bitch for themselves. They want one chick that they want, and that's it. And they willing to kill themselves and the woman too if they don't get it. You got, you know, I mean, I know I'm not the only one that had a woman threaten to commit suicide if you left her, right? Well, you got some dudes that also do that. They'll threaten suicide if or even commit suicide if their woman leaves them. One woman. Not it's 8 billion people on this planet. One woman leave their one woman that they have kids or not. They leave them. They willing to kill themselves or will kill themselves. Had a friend that I well we weren't close, but the guy I grew up with, he was a Jehovah's Witness. This is crazy, but he was in a gang. He was in a Chicago street gang, and he also was a Jehovah's Witness. Okay, and I grew up with him from the time I was in the second grade. No, third grade. And yeah, he killed himself over abroad. You know, I grew up in a kind of a small town outside of Chicago, and yeah, it was a lot of dudes. It wasn't that many women. Like the imbalance of like young women to men was like lopsided. It was more dudes than men. Not it was more dudes than females. Like a lot of the chicks would also stay in the house, so it might have been more chicks, but it wasn't that many chicks that actually walked that was outside of the house. They would you didn't start seeing them and probably till they start driving, but that led to a lot of like fights and stuff like that, and kind of like a thing where dudes used to fight over chicks. And I used to sit back. I used to sit on my porch and I was watching dudes fighting over chicks. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these dudes? Like, I was still like, I'm 15 years old, sitting on my porch, watching dudes fighting over chicks, man. Having little turf beefs, block beefs over broads. Matter of fact, I'm gonna even go even personal. A chick that I grew up with that I could have smashed, that I could have. I mean, when I was talking about the like female nature, I mean, she was going through it. Like she was she was young. I think we was both like 15. She was born like a day before I was. I knew she was on go. I walked. We took a walk, and I just basically handed her to my homeboy. Like, here, I heard you like her. You know what I'm saying? I just gave her to him because here's the thing. I always look at, I ain't gonna say always, but a lot of times I look at the end of things too. I don't look at just the start. I knew this bro had four brothers, an extended family, and also friends that you was gonna have to deal with. And I was already dealing with them because I grew up with them. Me busting a nut in her and all this other shit, having sex with her meant I was gonna have to fight all these motherfuckers, including her family and her father, that was an ex-army fucking veteran. I'm like, nah. I mean, they call me a pussy all you want. I knew what that meant, and I wasn't ready for that. And I knew she was gonna blow up what she did. But that's another story. But I still had love for her, but I knew, what I'm saying, all of the shit that I was gonna have to deal with. And I was like, here you go, bro. And he dealt with it. And boy, did he. He had to fight all the motherfuckers, including the local street gangs they was affiliated with. So yeah, success to me is more defined in this chart here. You know, that's why I always go back to it. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm an inch lower than that. Most places I'm taller than everybody else, and I'm sure you got the same result. You know, that's really valuable, man. I ain't think it was that big of a deal till I got older, and then of course that's all people talking about. Um, Actual nerds, like, okay, let's talk about let's show what a nerd, to put things in perspective, an actual nerd. Um, okay, a black nerd as far as a nerd, right? It's yes and no. I would say. I don't like to use celebrities, but um, I don't want to use a celebrity. Let's just use. I don't even know who this guy is, so I'll just use this guy because I don't know who this dude is. Um, but let's just use this guy here. Uh, let's just use this guy here. So I mean, this guy, I don't know who this dude is, but he came up or whatever. So this dude is a nerd, right? He kind of more or less looks like a nerd, you know. I mean, you take the glasses off, you can unnerd and nerd, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, all you gotta do is put on some contacts or whatever, get some eyes, some LASIK, and he don't necessarily take the glasses off. But the thing is that uh yeah, that's I'll break down why that is. This is my opinion. This is why I think it is. It's why black women don't like nerds. Um, you got to go back to like civilization, like not even civilization. You got to go back to what was going on, what's been going on for the last, let's just say, 2,000 years, as far as black people and their origin story or whatever. So we going from slavery going back to Africa. We in Africa now. Okay. This is 1500s, 1400s. You got intertribal warfare. You got the Moors that got kicked out of Spain and they had to go back to North Africa and survive and fight. And those are where the intertribal warfare came in, where it started the slave trade. A lot of people don't know that story. But even before that, you have the arrival of the Arabs, or the Eurasians and the Arabs, and the Arab conquest, and then even before that, you have the Persians conquest inside Egypt. So you had a lot of, basically, Africa got enclosed and ensnared to where you had to fight. You had being. I want to say being a nerd is something that comes from a time where um, you have some type of stability in society. You have some type of civilization or society where a nerd can be protected. A nerd can be. It's almost kind of like a woman being in her soft. They call it what, their soft life, living a soft life. A lot of women are complaining, and like they kind of like really talking about it and having discussions about it, because a lot of women can't really live a soft life, because their life is is a life of a male and a female. They have to take the trash out. They have to take care of the car. They have to put gas in the car. They have to fix the house. They have to do all of these things that primarily was done by a male. And they've done that for a long time, and have put themselves in a perspective to where they have to do it based off of certain feminist movements and stuff like that, and just normalization of women being single and independent. But this soft life comes from having a man there to open the doors, to take care of the kind of more dirty jobs or historically masculine jobs, like taking the trash out, taking care of the cars, fixing the house, cutting the grass, all of these different things and tasks, right? It's a lot of tasks, which it really trips me out how a lot of times women will not want men, but it's a mind fuck or a mind warp why women can't do that. That's another thing, but another topic that I'll probably most likely already talked about. But the thing is that it's kind of like being a nerd. It's kind of like you have to have some type of like being a nerd is basically what I'm saying is a luxury, because when I'm talking about in Africa, you had to be a warrior to survive. Like everybody damn near had to be a warrior. Like that's basically what I'm trying to tell you. My dad is from Ghana. You know, his mother's from Mali. His father's his father. I think his father was from Ghana. His mother was from Mali. So they had to fight. They had to fight other Africans. They had to fight the Arabs. They had to fight the Europeans. They had to fight. It wasn't no luxury to sit back and read books. They had to throw spears, arrows. They had to, deal with fucking guns and ammo being, projectiles coming at their way. Then they had no guns, cannons, ships. You know what I'm saying? They had to fight. They being a nerd actually is a luxury. It's a luxury based off of you having the time and the luxury to read, study, enhance your thought. This is why the book, The Black Destruction of the Black Civilization, is very important by I believe is by Chancellor Williams, because we've been under attack for like a couple thousand years, bruh. Wasn't that much of a luxury. We did have certain luxuries, like you have Timbuktu. Timbuktu has the biggest library, the most oldest university in the world as far as Black people as well. They did have certain segments where they had that luxury. Egypt was burned down. Alexandria was burned down by the Romans. They burned an entire library. You know what I'm saying? We've been under attack. This is old. This is some old shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Black women, you have certain DNA as well as like DNA that's why you have nightmares and stuff like that kind of broadcast this history as well as even now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no breaks. It ain't like we ain't under attack now. We still, to a certain degree, it's a different type of attack, but we're still under constant attack, constant penetration. This shit, the white woman is still banging on our ass, and everybody else. It's just different. It's just a different type of, situation. So Black women primarily come from the Black community. What is the Black community? Black communities are primarily ghettos. It's more ghettos than there are middle class neighborhoods. How do you survive the ghetto? You have to be a warrior. You have to be an intelligent warrior to survive the ghetto. So they want what? They want a warrior. They want a warrior thug. Okay, a nerd sitting back reading books. To them, they need immediate survival. They'll be smart to get the nerd. The nerd will come up with some type of plan to get out the hood, but a lot of them are smart enough to put that together. They looking for immediate results. The immediate results is what they see in their neighborhood. They see a dude selling drugs, they got cars, they got money, robbing people, scamming, whatever. That's immediate. The nerd in the hood, in their neck of the woods, is the hood, the ghetto. The nerd ain't necessarily got no money yet. He's still going to school. He's still trying to, work on trying to get out the neighborhood and trying to make some money. He ain't really making enough money to really, kind of live impressive, to impress on the women in his environment. And the way he dressed like the other guys that's doing the same thing in the hood, basically going to work, making, minimal money, and just kind of like, kind of staying out of trouble. It's like they look at a nerd like this is a non-warrior. They looking for the thug warrior to, deal with the hood, deal with also people that are in the hood, the cops, the dominant society, you could just say, coming in the hood, they attacking them, but not really. They're running away from them, but trying to survive that, and then also other people in the hood trying to come after them, primarily other black people. So they look at that as the person that they choose to be with, mate with, and spend time with. They look at the nerd as the loser. They look at the nerd as the loser because the nerd does not give them the immediate results that they're looking for to survive in the ghetto. So when you go outside the ghetto, when the black nerd goes outside of the ghetto, he is more of a prize. That's why that's what happens. That's why a lot of nerds, they go outside of the ghetto. They go in the broader society, the middle class, the upper middle class, the upper class, if they're successful enough to get there. And they might still struggle because, see, here's the thing: if you want a black woman, you're not living around them. When I went to middle class, when I went outside of the middle class, I've already left all of the black people outside of that. Not all of them, but majority of them. Once you go to upper middle class, depending on where you live, you can even, it's certain segments of the United States. If you go into a middle class neighborhood, most of the black people you've already left at that point. Okay, so you're around other people, you're around white people, you're around probably Asians, maybe Hispanics, right? So you're away from the proximity. Dating and mating is about proximity. Whoever you're around. I mean, it changes now because you have the internet, you have apps, you have dating websites, apps, and stuff like that, so you can meet people in different places, right? Doesn't necessarily have to do with proximity, but primarily that is still a situation where if you're meeting in your proximity at work, in your community, in your social circles, you know. So yeah, black women still primarily live in lower socioeconomic neighborhoods and communities, or hoods, because the reason why it's called the hood is because a lot of people are not neighborly. You know, what do I mean by neighborly? They don't pick up the trash. They don't look out for each other. They don't try to help each other. You know, every man for themselves. Everybody's out for themselves. That's why it's not called the neighborhood. It's called a hood. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. It just basically, I would just say in synopsis is that we've been what's been required more of is being a warrior in black society, black civilization in the last 2,000 years. Being strong and more warrior like has been what's been required for survival. Black women are still hardwired. It takes more time for them to catch up. They're still hardwired to want that warrior type guy. If you understand what I'm saying. Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you. You get. That's why I say ask me something, so I get a chance to show you, tell you what I know. You know what I've been researching. I've been knowing this for decades, man. Decades. Dude. When I was in the Navy, when I was going to Japan after boot camp, after apprenticeship school, I had money. I had a lot more money than I normally had. And before I joined the Navy, I was into research and I was reading books. I was going through a state of depression, living with my mother in an apartment. And I was reading books. Reading books helped me kind of get out of that. Okay. And it kind of lit a fire in me to research and read more, to be more of a to actually be more of a nerd. In actuality, even I was living in the hood at the time. My mother, for some reason or not, she wanted to. I don't know. She chose to move back into the hood. Why? She's no longer with me, so I can't really break that down to ask her. But I started reading, and when I got into the Navy and I got out of boot camp, I started buying more books. I started buying the books that more taught showed more about history. I one of the most exciting books that I was reading at the time was Ivan Van Sertima, Golden Age of the Moor. I was reading books on a 16-hour flight going across from Washington, going across the Pacific Ocean to Japan. I ain't even go to the bathroom. That straight 16 hours was nothing but books. I think I went through like 4 books back to back to back. I mean, of course they had food and everything like that, but that's what I was doing. And then actually the trip that I think is like my part of naval education that we have to learn in boot camp. We literally have to learn the history of the Navy, or the U.S. Navy. And the history of the U.S. Navy, part of that is dealing with the direct engagement with the they call them the North Africans, but those were the Moors. That our history, even our fights, even the Marine Corps fight song is dealing with that North African conquest, engaged in that North African, uh, you know, enemy that they had. You know, George Washington had to send a fleet of ships to North Africa because one of the reasons why North Africa is so uh light and so European as far as the Arabs, how they look, is because it was so many European slaves that was brought from Europe into Africa that they literally had an influx of these people mixing in into, you know, what is modern North Africa, um to, you know, all the way into the interior of Africa, because they was literally enslaving Europeans. Once I realized that Europeans was literally enslaved by Africans, that shit blew my mind. Um, and it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like tripped out. It's kind of like you like, damn, well, we got enslaved by them, but we was enslaving them first. They responded to their enslavement by enslaving us. It's kind of like what goes around comes around type of thing, you know. And it's tripped out. But the Arab the Arab taught them how to enslave Africans, and the Arab is the oldest enemy of Africans. It is, you know, pretty much still enslaving Africans to this day, you know, and it's still pretty much, you know, that's why you have all of this problems with Cleopatra and, you know, the Egyptians was not black and all this shit. Is because this stuff is old, but it's still new. This is still new. The Arabs invaded. They were the last invaders of Egypt, basically. They fought the British, um, and that's why you have the British basically have a lot of traditions and customs that they got from ancient Egypt. They have a lot of museums that have Egyptian artifacts and stuff like that because they understand the power of Egypt. You know, um, you know, it's a lot of traditions and customs that we still follow to this day that derive from the oldest civilization, which is the Egyptian civilization. You know, so it's like basically, um, they responded to our enslaving of them because we were basically in partnership with the Arabs, um, in going inside modern Spain, Portugal, France, Italy, all the parts of Western Europe, and trading, building, architectural structures, mosques, trading spices, you know, teaching them how to bathe. You know, it's just basically a lot of different histories that's not taught even in grad school. They won't even teach you this in grad school. Like, this is stuff you have to educate yourself to learn and to research. This is not taught. It's not taught in schools. It's not taught to the modern person. This is like high level PhD education, beyond even PhD education. I don't even know what's beyond PhD education. So that is kind of like an oxymoron, but this is hidden. It's a lot of hidden history that is not talked about. Yeah, to be a nerd is very, like, you have to have certain levels of stability in a society to actually sit back. Just think about it. To be able to sit back and learn and read and educate yourself, it takes a certain level of societal stability in order to be able to do that. This is a new phenomenon. It's not, you know, you got different parts of history where it was chaos and destruction, and it's very, very difficult to sit back and read and have a period of enlightenment in war. Man, I try to be, man. I try to be. Oh, we got a lawyer. Black folks don't adhere to classism. I mean, I haven't dropped some bombs in a minute. Yeah, I mean, I did a whole video about that last year. I mean, let's go into that. Let me go into that. It kind of goes back to what I was saying about the history of post-slavery, or actually slavery, post-slavery. Basically, post-slavery is like, just imagine in your mind the boats coming all the way back from from America to Africa, and then we in the slave dungeons, and then we got caught doing we were having intertribal warfare, and in that intertribal warfare we're fighting different tribes or fighting different tribes. The Arabs come in, invade Africa. Europeans come in and invade Africa. Our civilization has been, we've been fighting for thousands of years. It's the last time there was, some type of class system. It was in Africa. Okay, coming over here in America, or the Americas, our class system, the only example that we have is of Europeans. Their class system, they were taught by us. Their class system was taught by us, and they took it to Europe, as well as you had blacks that were already in Europe. You had kings, all alike from top to bottom, that were black people in Europe. The whole Europe was all white. That's just a myth of basically white supremacists, kind of tool of propaganda, that Europe was just this all white continent, and that's totally true. That's totally false. You got ancient art that shows the different African nobles, kings. I'll show one, for example. This is an old European monarch, actually English king. Where's this thing got here? They didn't. I mean, if they would have destroyed all the art, they might have been able to keep that lie going. But art is expensive, and they make a lot of money off of art, and you can't destroy it, because you're trying to make money off of it, and can't destroy all of the art, or any of it, because it's expensive. It's like, if you go to a museum and you see like different art pieces, they're saying that basically this art is so expensive, it doesn't have a price tag to it. It only is to be seen by others in a museum behind lock and key and armed guards. So basically, like pretty much the art the art tells the whole story. The ancient figurines, pottery, coins. It tells a different story of the whole narrative of Europe was just this all white, um, you know, continent, and they do that because that's the whole, you know, it feeds the whole lie of kind of like basically the whole myth of the white race being superior. That's where that comes in. Every historical land, people that overconquered it or took it over, uh, they bring a narrative that the people there before, uh, they were weak, they were inferior, we took them over. That's the narrative. That's the common uh, narrative storyline that is portrayed. Um, and they took it a step further. They said these people were no longer. They were never here. It was all a white origin story of Europe, which is not true. You know, and you know, it's just to propagate this narrative that basically I'm white and I was always right. Basically, in a nutshell. And it's like, man, I mean, it's not really even nerds. It's really people like me that are conscious and aware of these lies. That is a glitch in the matrix. It's pretty much a glitch in the matrix. You know, it you know, too many people, which they do. They already this is very common. You know, people already know this, and they're walking and with that truth, and you know, some people don't know it on both sides. It does that narrative does a disservice for everybody. It does a disservice for white people because they don't know the truth, and then they're told this myth and they walk out and believe that. And then two, it also you know, black people don't know. So then they think that you actually having any type of European you know, style or dress or the way you talk is just, you know, you just being this, you know, what they call Negro-pean. And it's totally false. It's not. It's something that basically black people have been in these lands, and they've been rulers. They've, you know, been all over the globe. It's a African origin story all over the planet. We are the wolves of the human species. You know, we literally invented civilization. So I mean, it's just, you know, a lot of scholars they do tell the truth. Um, some still you know, try to push that narrative. But let me show you, for example, this is just one person right here. This is the Catherine of Braganza. This is pretty much a light-skinned woman. This is what you would call a light-skinned woman. This is she was basically one of the wives of King Charles II. It was modern light-skinned woman. You know, you could tell that by the phenotype. I mean, that's just one example of many of different examples of what they don't teach you in school and whatnot. It's another, I can go a step further. I got all of this stuff. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. So this is one of the early English kings right here. This is one of the early English kings. This is I think this is King Edelstein. You know, this is basically one of the first English kings. You know, so it's just, you know, like I say, everybody has an origin story that, you know, once the people on the bottom, they want to push the narrative and origin story that you just this bottom feeder that was never anything but, and it's totally it's a pack of lies. But going back to classism and the comment, black people don't know this history. Okay, the closest thing we follow is classism in America, and unfortunately, when it comes to class, black people are at the bottom as far as class in this country. I mean, Erica Williams, she posted a community post that talks about the different cultural groups in the United States and where people fit in that, and black people are pretty much at the bottom, as everybody pretty much knows. I mean, if you don't know, I mean, as far as like where we are as a whole, this is where that breakdown is. Share my screen here. We keep paying for stupid shit like plastic surgery. You know, that's, you know, shit like that. Medium household income by ethnic group. Okay, black people at the bottom, Indians are at the top. All of these primarily are Asians at the top, Hispanics at the bottom, and then you got the average American. I guess that's, I don't know, they actually got white Americans at right below Pakistanis as far as things. I mean, you know, this is one reason. I mean, we don't really have that much class. Where is the class at? I mean, where do you show up to this class? You know, if I wanted to be a lawyer like yourself, I have to finish up my undergrad and get my degree, and then I have to take the LSAT, and then I have to find a law class to attend or get approved to go. And that's in Illinois. In certain states, you don't need a law degree. You just have to pass the bar, or you have to intern at a law firm for a period of years. Or you know, different states have, you know, different requirements to be a lawyer. You know, my last name has law in it, so I definitely pay attention to the laws. I definitely got the Black Law Dictionary, very good book. And I mean, basically, we have very little as far as elites. Black people do make up half of. I mean, we're second as far as wealth in this country because it's so many of us. The Asians are low in population. It's like 2%. You know, it's growing, but because of our population, and it's a lot of us that do well. Not a lot, but some of us that do well make up a big population of the wealthy. So we're second as far as wealth, behind whites in this country. So it's like good and bad. Like we do have a very sizable wealth class, but in comparison to others, as far as concentrated, we're the average Joe black person is just kind of very much struggling. You see different you go to different cities, you see the homeless is primarily black males. Um, yeah, our class, as far as class itself, I mean, you got a bunch of, just think about it, just in general, you got a bunch of poor to average black people in mass who they're going to look down upon, right? They're going to look down on the elite. They don't like the elite. They don't like the high class. I have to even train myself to, like, you know, I can't do that if I want to actually be that. Like I have to have some type of adherence to respect, to at least respect those that people where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Like the average black person does not think like that. Doesn't think like that. They look at those that have more than them. What do we watch on TV? The haves and the have-nots. You know, we have this construct that, you know, comes from slavery, actually, that these well-to-do people actually being high class is that you're white. You're a white dude. You're a black white dude. You made money without scamming and cracking cards and selling dope. How you do that? You know, oh, you think you better than me? you my masters now because you got a master in law. You got a doctor in law. You my doctor now, nigga? Huh? You know, it's I mean, class is very something, and to be honest, is new in this country. I mean, the black upper class is very, very, like, as far as black people making money in mass in this country. I mean, my parents to, you know, generations below, black people just started making money in mass. I'm talking about, like, you know, making millions and all of that. Like that's new. You know, let's look up black wealth in America. I mean, this is new. This is a new phenomenon. Uh it was a time where the norm was black people living in slums. Okay, the norm was black people living in slums in the cities of North America. When, you know, black people came from the South, it was a few black enclaves where black people lived, and they brought all of these people from the South to the North, and they had to live somewhere. So our in mass, we are basically survivors of the slum. Those that got out of the slum, came from the South, and basically got out of the slums. Now, it was cities that were thriving. Then they had, you know, basically riots to suppress those cities. They buried those cities. They put, you know, made rivers and lakes and shit of certain black cities in America. You know, this is something new. It's not, you know, black wealth, as I would say, as far as black people in mass doing relatively well and rising up the class in this country is probably, I would say, about 50 to 60 years. I'd say 75 years old, as far as in mass black people rising out the slums to the middle class and above. That is relatively new. Very much wealth was closed off. They had to basically literally literally force through various means of marching, boycotting, civil unrest, you know, begging the white establishment basically to and of course all of the good stuff, the good charts, this allows you to put, okay, let's see, because this is a good one, but they, you know, charge for these articles. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, this is something that you know, was closed off. I mean, basically it still is, you know. You might be giving everybody your money, giving, you know, have this peace loving you know, attitude toward the world, and I do too, but not everybody has that. You know, it's certain, you walk into certain jobs or companies and everybody in there is either Hispanic or white, and you're like, okay, well, this is South Milwaukee. How is this factory all white and Hispanic? How is this possible? How did y'all do that? Oh, you didn't hire any black people. That's how you did it. And it's totally obvious. But you know, that's where you come in. You file that EEOC non-compliance you know, citation or report or whatever, you know, paperwork, and then they get deemed by the EEOC and they have to pay some type of fine. And that was only because that was, you know, a law that was mandated the last 75 100 years. I mean, not even 100. Like, when did the EEOC establish? You know, and that is a chart of the actual black wealth in this country. When was the EEOC created? Like, what year was that? The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission was created in July 1965. Okay, I mean, literally, like, companies could hire whoever they want to, and then, you know, basically, the reason why I'm against, you know, people just, you know, basically you cut people out of the economy when you do that. You basically don't get people jobs, and then you know, let's just say, for example, you have a business A. They sell to everybody. They make money from everybody. It's not like they just sell to one group and then that's it. They making money from everybody. So then you only hire certain people that look just like you or whatever, but you make money from everybody. You know, I have a problem with that, because it's like, basically what you're doing is you're taking my money, but you don't want to hire people that look like me that is giving you the same money. And, you know, it's like you cutting me out of, and I know why you cutting me out. And it's like, you know, yeah, I do have some type of issue with that. Some people don't think that. They like, oh, you pull yourself by your bootstraps, you start your own businesses, you start your own organizations, and you hire, you know, from yourself. Well, I be speaking that too. I speak that to ad nauseum, and you know, I don't know who hears that message, but I mean, that still doesn't address why you do that, you know, and that's why they had to create an actual, or, you know, basically branch of the government in order to find corporations, private and public, for basically discriminating people, you know, basically by race and ethnicity. I mean, basically they had to do all this stuff, you know, which is, you know, start all of these equal employment opportunity commissions. You had black people couldn't get houses. They had to create the Federal Housing Act. That was only in the 80s, the late 70s and 80s, that they started that. So if you didn't give people a house based off of their cultural background or ethnicity, that was against the law. Okay, it's a federal statute. This is new. Real estate is the number one financial tool for wealth in the United States. So black people if they had money, even black people with money, they had to get a house how I did because I have bad credit. I could go down that road. Credit was created very, very close to after the actual credit system in the United States was created years after basically the Emancipation Proclamation in 1865. Literally, if you look up when was the credit system started, and it'll tell you all that you have to know. But I mean, I ain't gonna go there. It was my own doing as far as why my credit is fucked up. It still is to this day. But I'm still in a house, that I pay for. But black people with good jobs, good money, or a lot of money, they had to buy a house off of contract because basically owners of real estate would not sell them property based off of them being black. Okay. So this whole, black people doing well and everything like that is literally something that is new. Okay. That's why they didn't. This was a war. This is an economic war. They say the boomers didn't do nothing. It's not so much the boomers. It was the silent generation. The silent generation had to literally fight these people, these dogs, to have something for themselves and their family. They had to go to war with these dogs to get some type of equal footing financially in this country. Okay, I mean, primarily, that was the silent generation and the greatest generation. They had to fight these people that, sick dogs on them, hoses, spit on them, do shit and piss on them. Probably, I mean, I don't know. They did all kind of shit. Hung them by the tree, killed them in the middle of the night, driving through Mississippi. All of this shit, and yeah, it literally, what I'm saying, this is black people primarily had the class was everybody was poor. This is a new construct. It was some black people that were outliers. They were looked at as shines, bootlickers, and coons. How are you able to make money, with all of this oppression and segregation and shit like that? Like, some people that were very, crafty and stuff like that too. Black people always been crafty and stuff like that to make money, but that's how they were looked, because it was almost like you had more of a case of like, damn, how did you become a millionaire and you black in 1940, 1950? How was you able to do that? But now you don't necessarily, that's not more of the case, but that history, that concept, that mindset is still relatively fresh in the minds of the average black person, which the modern black person now is just a wage slave to materialism, car notes, credit cards, mortgages, debt, student loans. That's his, or her burden primarily, just like a lot of other people, But this classism concept to black people is relatively new. White people have a concentrated class system that's goes back 300-400 years. It's relatively well defined. It's very, very much concentrated. It's very embedded. Black people only have certain enclaves of the United States that they have some type of black elite class or areas that they live. it's very, very small. So pretty much I gotta cut down about 3 or 4 videos. Damn near want to put this on Patreon, because I'm literally I'm giving the work of God in this live stream. But that's I'm definitely, I'm definitely here for it, definitely here for it. Yeah, I can go into that. Damn, time is flying, boy. Whew, boy. Well, I wanted to actually show, but I could just go into it, as far as things is concerned. It's books that I haven't even read. I'm not gonna lie to you. As old as I am, as old as I am, it's books that I have not read. Okay, BGS Itmore will probably know more than I do. It's even me even having the gray hairs that I have. I have not even scratched the surface to this, as far as like the books and stuff that are out there. I've not read. But the first one is, I would say, this is always comes up, is this let me share my screen. It's already shared. This one right here. The Destruction of the Black Civilization, Great Issues of Race from 4,500 years ago, basically. Or no, 4,500 AD or BC, I guess. Let me see. Let me just open the thing up. And all of a sudden now my internet don't work. Yeah, see, you know what I'm saying? this is definitely not normal. Yeah. Yeah, this says 4,500 BC to 2000 AD. So, or maybe, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they got bigger problems. They got bigger problems than me. So yeah, I'm already a federal government employee, so I already have a file. They know about me. But yeah, definitely, I just want to put that out there too. If you able to do so, I'll do appreciate it. But yeah, this is the first one I would go to. Matter of fact, I gotta get this. I got so many books. I gotta get a library. That I got so many damn books, man. This is the first one I would go with here, and after that, pretty much anything Ivan Van Sertima has wrote. Anything Ivan Van Sertima wrote, I would suggest you get that in your collection as soon as possible. They Came Before Columbus. Got the Olmec head there. African Presence in Europe. Right there. Okay. Only book, I'll just to show things in perspective. See, like, he got all of this stuff here. He's got pictures and everything. So I only read this book to just put things in perspective. As far as the books I've read, I've only read this one of Ivan Van Sertima. I still have not read They Came Before Columbus, Egypt Revisited. Okay. I just, Early America Revisited as well. That's his latest book. So yeah, anything with Ivan Van Sertima, for sure. You got another guy, man, that I used to try talk about a lot, and or I used to follow online, and that's this guy here, man. This dude was a beast, man. As far as historians, um, you know, this guy here, Runoko Rashidi. I mean, you got Runoko Rashidi. You got basically I could just go down the list. Sheikh Antana Diop. Okay, I mean, after this, after you read all of them, you're gonna be like one of my homies that I went to high school with. You're gonna just have some art, you're gonna have some African I don't know if you got a house now, whatever, you're gonna have motherfucking goddamn African sculptures in your house just on the wall and shit. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be motherfucking goddamn it African out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, traveling, you're gonna be trying to go back and forth. You're gonna be African in the motherfucker after you read all these books. And Shake, I can go further. I can go further and further, man. John Henry Clark. Oh, I can go on and on. How far do you want? How far do you want to go, man, bro? I mean, it's how much time you got to read. You know what I'm saying? Is the question. You know what I'm saying?
400 still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day. You just sit here, you don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so yeah, man, it's the thing is that you got white scholars that also they study anthropology. You want to get into anthropology too. You got anthropologists. Anthropologists is some beasts, man. You got some beastful anthropologists out here that man, you know what I'm saying? They be finding shit. They find stuff every week, every day. They finding like new ancient civilizations that's buried in the sand, buried in the dirt. The sea. I mean, they still haven't found Atlantis. They haven't. You had a fucking civilization that's lost. You know how many lost civilizations there are? You got Atlantis is one of them. You got, man, it's shit. How deep do you want to go in the rabbit hole, my brother? It's the question. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how deep do you want to go? But that's how you could tell. They look like Barbie titties. That's how you can tell. You gotta fight the if you don't like breast implants. That's how you can tell. Do you think liberal arts is worth learning? I mean, this depends on where you want to go. If you want to be a professor, those brothers that I just mentioned are professors. Okay, if you want to be a professor, that's usually the route that you go. If you want to be a philosopher, if you want to be a professor, a teacher, a lecturer, that's usually where that goes. If you want to actually be even a lawyer, okay, like this brother here, you usually that's where you go because you have to be able to talk, you have to be able to write, you have to be able to basically you're going to be dealing with a lot of philosophy, sociology, anthropology, history. That is usually liberal arts. Okay, my homie, his ex-wife, she was a sociologist as far as her major. Her degree was in sociology. She's probably most likely now a partner in her law firm now. She's been a lawyer for over a decade now. So yeah, it depends on what route you're going. I mean, it depends on where you don't necessarily need to go in the liberal arts to be a lawyer though, but usually historically a lot of lawyers they went in the liberal arts. I don't think you have to. I think now just have to pass the LSAT, I believe, to get into law school. What are the 5 assets people need? Okay. Okay, for sure. First, definitely real estate. If you can. And this is what I mean. Like what I mean is real estate is like you got some people that are able to do this. Most people are not able to do this. I myself am not able to do this. I mean, I'm talking about you got people that own houses that don't have a car because they know the importance of real estate. You need real estate before you need a car, before you need anything. Really, real estate is more important than anything because you need a place to live. Everybody needs a place to live. That's why people make money off of real estate. Because it's not stopping. It's not going to stop. People need a place to live. No matter what. They need a place to live. Secondly, I would say just basically off of just sheer survival is an automobile or a car. I'll just say a car. But when I say a car, I say you said asset. An asset is something you own. You don't own no car if you got a car note. The bank owns the car. You know your car. You should be able to afford anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000. You should be able to buy a car cash. You know, that's at least if I'm going to show some eye candy. I'm going to show you what the difference between her and some real breasts. Okay. That's not fake. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, she ain't got her face, so this is good. So at least we gonna show some real eye candy that's not plastic. Damn, that thing took up the whole joint. Now, I'm pretty sure those are real. They spray it out. You see how they spray it out. So, yeah, let's minimize this though a little bit. Nice to have a little eye candy. Nothing can go wrong from that. All right. Yeah, car. Actual car that you own though. A car. Outside of that, after the car, we got 5. Cash. Liquid cash. That's liquid cash. Cash. You could even say cash is first because cash will get all of these. Cash will get you real estate, get you the car, actual liquid cash. Let me just take this one to liquid cash. Liquid cash. Let's see here. Liquid cash. Liquid cash. That's an asset. Okay, liquid cash is anything that you can transfer really, really quick. Okay, cash, coins, technically a check. A check. You can cash a check at the currency exchange or your bank. You can cash a check. That's liquid. A cashier's check, a money order. That's all liquid cash. You know, it's an asset. You know, you can use to buy other assets. It's a form of an asset. You know, money in your bank, a bank account, a savings account, liquid cash. Okay. Outside of that, so we got three. We got real estate, car, liquid cash. So now go to hard currency. It was hard currency. Okay. Bonds, CDs, certificate of deposits. So you can get like a certificate of deposit. You can get like 4 to 5%, or even higher. Some banks give you, like, if you get like a 12-month CD or 24-month CD, they'll give you like maybe like 6% off of your money. Okay, a certificate of deposit, a bond, government bond, different bonds, stocks, options contracts, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, bars, coins, even jewelry, diamonds. Basically, also even an insurance policy. Alonzo, he pops in every now and again, having some type of like annuity, or that you could take money out of, a whole life insurance policy that has some type of value over time. That's something that he said you can borrow against. You can use as some type of collateral to get a loan. A lot of people don't know this. And some type of even if you gave somebody a loan, a promissory note to pay back a loan, that's something that is a considered a hard currency. You own some debt. You have a debt note that you gave somebody some money and they owe you some money. You might have a judgment. You sued somebody. The judge, the judge or the courts, they give you a judgment, a notice of judgment. That's considered something that is hard to convert to currency. Therefore, it is of value. You have to get that value from it by proxy of, seizing bank accounts, other assets. You see this happening on YouTube. You got Cardi B has won a case with Tasha K. Williams, and she's looking for assets because she's not paid her any money. So basically her lawyers, her team of litigators are trying to basically get money from Tasha Kate, and she's trying to figure out. I don't know what she's trying to figure out, but basically, yeah, you could consider a judgment some type of hard currency. You won a case, you sue someone, you gotta collect, you gotta figure out how you gonna collect. Basically you could sell that judgment to a collection company for a disclosed amount. They give you some money, and then they go after the other party in the judgment that was involved in the judgment. This is why you have collection companies. You had a collection, it goes from one company to another company to another company, and you have it on your credit report. You got to pay it. You got to contact the last collection company and have a agreement in writing for you to do what is called a pay and delete. And you pay them, and then they delete it off of your credit report for agreed amount, so they can basically close out that judgment that they put on your report, or that debt item on your report, so they can delete it, shows paid, and get it off your credit report. So yeah, it's all kinds of actually hard currencies. It's quite a bit. Like anything that is of value, just about that, collector's items and stuff like that is considered hard currency. A fucking dog is considered a hard currency. If you got a what is a hot dog that everybody wants? If you got a Yorkie, a lot of women love Yorkies. You got a Yorkie, and you gotta breed them or her and get a litter of Yorkies. Yorkies go for like $2,500. They're expensive. They go for even more than that. I'm looking for a Bengal cat. The cheapest Bengal cat I saw was $2,500. A kitten, $2,500. And if you go to Manhattan, so there's some chicks in Manhattan, some white folks in Manhattan that got Bengal cats for $5,000. That's hard currency. That's also hard currency. Like, the dude that breeds pit bulls in the hood. I just passed by. I was coming from work. Let me show you better than I could tell you. Hold on. Let me show you better. I can tell you, man. I actually have footage, so I can show you better than I can ever tell you. Okay, I saw some dogs breeding when I was coming back from work. You gotta, in Gary, Indiana, you have to be creative to make some money in this motherfucker. And that might be breeding some dogs. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might have to breed you a dog, some cane corsos. You might have to breed them cane corsos, man, to make some money. You might have to be a handyman to survive. Let me see here. Share my screen real quick. Show you some hard currency that's in the works. I'm gonna be knocking on that dude's door. It's about 2 more months from now. Hold on, let me see if I can. I don't know if y'all can see that. He was getting it. There you go. Yeah. I mean, the breeding dogs, puppies, hard currency. You got some pimps listening. They already They gonna tell you women is hard currency, but I ain't going there. I mean, women help you get money. You know, I would say that women help you get money. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about no pimp shit. I'm just saying, like, for example, you know, I do eBay. Well, if I had a, you know, if I live with the woman that was helping me out, she can go, you know, take some packages to the mailbox. I don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? She can go drop some packages off. If a woman around you is a value add, you gonna make some money. You ain't got no choice but to make more money. You're gonna be more productive. You're gonna make more money. It just that's how it's going to work. You know, it only happens like thousands of times, like thousands, millions of examples, you know, of that formula working out like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it goes. Like, you know, typically how that works out. Let me show you, for example. Let's see here. Actually, it's on my YouTube community tab, I believe. This is a classic example. Perfect example right here. Perfect example. I mean, just, yeah, you know, so, you know, secretary helping you out, just so happen to be your wife. You know, Jeff Bezos in 1999 in some office. You know, look at that. Just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? 1999, bro. Just in an office, look like an airbrush sign, trying to motherfucking get it. You know, trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? And in 1999, I thought, like man, I mean, if this is actually what happened in 1999, that's tripped out, because by that time it was already books and shit. Because I remember in 1999, you could get your textbooks from Amazon. So, you know, he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this was him, I think this was before 1999. I think by 1999 he was somewhat established, more established than this. But that was just somebody that created a meme. They don't probably know the actual year. This probably would look like this was the early 90s. Probably more mid 90s. But nonetheless, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get you a woman that can help you out, you know what I'm saying? And the rest is history. I mean, it just that's typically how that goes. So we got 4. So the fifth asset to own is, I would have to say, surprise. You got all of this stuff. You got a woman. She's pregnant. You having your first child. You have to protect it. You have to protect it, bro. You need guns and ammo, bro. You got to have some type of protection to all of this shit that you have. Yes. It's not like it's utopia. I just talked about war. 3 to 4,000 years of war. You have to have some guns to protect all of this shit that I just said. All of the other 4 I just said, you have to have some type of weapons to protect your family and your capital. Part of being wealthy, being rich, is you have to protect it. Unfortunately, yes. Guns is part of that protection. Knowing how to use it. So, to answer your question, that's that. And I've think that'll be the last one, guys.
I appreciate it. This is definitely been fun. I'm glad that you are able to extract some things from my brain. Didn't know that first one, but I know a little bit more about it now. Thank you for that, Dave Tao. And let's see here. What was I gonna play to close this out here? I think I was gonna play something. Yeah, I know what I was gonna do. Okay. All right, y'all.
Hey, you guys, this is Courtney Camaro. I'm outside of Muhammad Ali's real original home. We're in Chicago, and I wanted to shout out Al's Botanics and Herbs. Man, when I tell you, I